Spiffs aren't just one of the sounds you make in a proper beatbox battle. They have a lot to do with your sales, too. Let's look at how much weight you give a good spiff. Spiffs and tires, spiffs and tires.
This video is sponsored by Wix Filters, manufacturers of filters for automobiles, trucks, off-road equipment, and manufacturing applications. Go to wixfilters.com for more information.
Hello and welcome back to Rollin' with the Numbers, where we present you with data that gives tire dealers information to keep their tire businesses rolling based on research conducted with our independent tire dealer audience and beyond. My name's David, and on this week's show, I'm talking about spiffs in the tire industry and how much they influence the products you recommend and sell. Now, for the uninitiated, the word spiff is short for Sales Program Incentive Funds. What's the other F for? I don't know. No one does. So let's go with fun. Sales Program Incentive Funds. So spiffs are a way of marketing or promoting a particular product. Think special pricing, trips, experiences, bonuses, things like that. Except a spiff isn't directly advertised to the consumer. Instead, these benefits go to the seller. It's essentially an opportunity for the manufacturer to entice dealers to recommend their brand to the dealer's customers for the duration of the spiff. The dealer gets a sweet incentive, and as an added bonus, it gives those dealers another excuse to flaunt their tire expertise to customers face to face. Now, spiffs work better in some industries than others. If you work at the theater and you have a spiff to get customers to see the sequel to the horror classic Troll 2 over the latest Marvel superhero blockbuster, you're going to have a bad time. Those customers already know what they want. However, spiffs happen to work very well in the tire industry because, as I'm sure you've experienced, many drivers critically depend on their friendly neighborhood tire dealer to inform them on the best tire for them. In fact, in a recent survey distributed to our independent tire dealer audience, 68% of you said that at least half of your customers will switch brands based on salesperson recommendations. And 6% of you said you can get a customer to switch brands over 90% of the time. Very impressive, you guys. But is this recommendation based on a spiff? Well, 17% of you say you never let a spiff influence the products you recommend, and 25% say you rarely do. But 59% say that at least sometimes a spiff helps determine the recommendation, with 11% saying they almost exclusively rely on spiffs to know what to sell. So there's no doubt, spiffs work. An interesting side note, we asked you what percentage of your customers buy tires exclusively on price, and here is what the data looks like. It's all over the board. It just goes to show that when that customer walks into your shop, the word of the tire dealer is taken seriously. Price matters, but for many drivers, it doesn't matter as much as your recommendation. So, what contributes to a good spiff anyway? Well, according to you, a stack of dead presidents is not a bad place to start. 61% of you say it's got to have a financial incentive. Also, 54% of you said it needs to be easy. The program needs to be hands-off, easy to understand, perhaps even automated. Customers are, of course, more likely to buy brands they recognize, so 38% of you say it helps when the spiff is already coming from a manufacturer that they know. We see this data backed up in our tire-shaped pie charts of science here, too. 65% of you say that you have indeed received a monetary award via a spiff, while slightly less of you, at 56%, say you have received a non-monetary award from a spiff. Not to be overlooked, though, several of you wrote us a note about this question, and I think it's a great point. Yes, spiffs are great, but for the most part, tire dealers don't plan to sell their souls for a spiff. You have to believe in the product, too, and many of you told us on the side that regardless of spiff potential, it's got to be a quality product or you won't sell it. And that's the bottom line here, right? You may respect two products equally, but recommend one over the other because of a particularly tempting spiff. And that's what they're there for. Don't feel bad about being charmed by the incentives of a spiff. Just don't let your spiff be your guide above all else. Instead, use it to your advantage and as a great excuse to engage your customer with your personal recommendation. That's today's show, but for more business intelligence data to help boost tire dealer profitability, be sure to watch out for our next episode. If you subscribe to our newsletter, it's in there. Look out for it. Until next time, keep on rolling.